Have you ever felt a sudden, inexplicable shift, an awakening so subtle, yet so profound, that the world around you, though seemingly unchanged, feels entirely different? Relationships that once seemed straightforward now reveal layers of complexity. Patterns and behaviors that you once overlooked suddenly appear glaring, almost impossible to ignore. This awakening, be it spiritual, emotional, or mental, is not just a change in perception, it is a transformation of your very essence. It brings with it an expanded understanding of the dynamics that govern life, opening doors to deeper truths. Yet, with this clarity, also comes a confrontation with the unsettling realities that were previously hidden in plain sight. The world begins to look the same but feels profoundly different, as if you are navigating a new dimension of awareness. One of the most profound and challenging realizations during this journey is the recognition of toxicity in relationships that are closest to your heart, particularly within your own family. These are the dynamics that, for years, felt acceptable or even nurturing. Yet, with the clarity that comes from awakening, you may begin to notice how these patterns stifle your growth or conflict with your evolving sense of self. What once seemed harmless or even loving may now feel restrictive, suffocating, or emotionally draining. It's a deeply unsettling realization, one that forces you to reevaluate the bonds you hold most sacred. But it's important to understand that this recognition is not a sign of personal failure or a condemnation of your past. It is a testament to your growth, a reflection of your journey toward alignment with your higher purpose. When awakening takes root, it acts like a light piercing through the veil of long-established norms, illuminating the subtleties of familial interactions that were once invisible. Behaviors, conversations, and unspoken rules that quietly dictated relationships now stand in stark contrast to your newfound clarity. Toxic families, in particular, often respond to this awakening with resistance. They may dismiss your perspective, challenge your decisions, or misinterpret your intentions. This is not because your transformation is wrong or misguided. It is because your growth disrupts their deeply ingrained comfort zones. To them, your change is not just an individual shift, it's an upheaval of the familiar structures they've relied on for emotional stability. For those bound by the status quo, any disruption can feel like a threat, even when it holds the potential for healing and growth. Picture a still pond, calm and undisturbed, reflecting the world above it with serene clarity. Then, imagine a single stone dropping into its center, sending ripples outward that disrupt its pristine surface. Your awakening is that stone, creating waves of change in an environment that once felt static. To those who have built their sense of safety on the unchanging nature of this pond, these ripples may feel overwhelming, even threatening. They may long for the stillness to return, clinging to the idea that stability can only exist in the absence of movement. Yet what they fail to see is that these ripples are necessary. They break the stagnation and breathe life into waters that have been dormant for far too long. Within this dynamic lies a profound truth. Your awakening is not a mistake, nor is it something to fear or suppress. It is an invitation, a calling to break free from generational cycles and patterns that no longer serve your highest good. You were chosen, not randomly, but intentionally, by life, by spirit, and by the universe, to see clearly, to question deeply, and to forge a new path forward. This path, however, is rarely easy. It is riddled with challenges, misunderstandings, and moments of isolation. Yet it is also a path of profound purpose and meaning, reserved for those who are destined to uncover the deeper truths of existence and to pave the way for others who follow. Families often function like intricate ecosystems, where each member unconsciously adopts a role that maintains the balance of the whole. The peacemaker, the provider, the rebel, the scapegoat, these roles ensure stability, even when the dynamics are toxic. But when you awaken, your role begins to shift. You may find yourself stepping away from patterns that perpetuate negativity, questioning the values and traditions that once guided your family's dynamics. This shift can be deeply unsettling for others, as it forces them to confront their own roles and the systems they've relied on. resistance often follows, as those around you struggle to adapt to the person you are becoming, a person who no longer fits neatly into the role they assign to you. This is the juncture where the journey becomes both a challenge and a liberation. To truly grow, you must relinquish the need for external validation, even from those who mean the most to you. This doesn't mean severing ties or abandoning love. Rather, it involves redefining what love and connection mean to you. Love is not about blind agreement or self-sacrifice for the sake of harmony. True love and connection require authenticity, an unwavering commitment to your truth, even when it creates discomfort. It means honoring your path while allowing others to navigate theirs, however different they may be. Consider the butterfly as it emerges from its cocoon, a transformation that is both beautiful and arduous. The struggle to break free is not a hindrance. It is an essential process that builds the strength the butterfly needs to soar. In much the same way, your awakening may feel like a period of conflict, isolation, or even rejection. Yet this struggle is not a sign of failure. It is a signal that you are transcending the limitations of what you once knew. It is proof that you are growing into a version of yourself that is more aligned, more expansive, and more capable of embracing life's infinite possibilities. During this process, it is vital to remind yourself that your family's resistance or misunderstanding is not a burden you are meant to carry. Their reactions, though deeply felt, are not reflections of your worth or the validity of your journey. Awakening is an intensely personal process, one that requires each individual to walk their own path when the time is right. You cannot force someone to see the truths you now understand if their eyes are not yet open, nor can you carry the weight of their discomfort. What you can do, however, is create space for your own growth. This space is sacred, a refuge where you can nurture your evolving self without guilt, without shame, and without the need to justify your transformation to those who may not yet comprehend it. Consider this: how many times have you swallowed your words, suppressing your voice in order to avoid triggering conflict? How often have you denied your truth, choosing silence over the possibility of confrontation simply because it felt safer? These patterns, while comfortable in the short term, bind you to cycles that no longer serve the person you are becoming. Each unspoken thought and suppressed feeling weighs down your spirit, creating a barrier between who you are and who you are meant to be. The moment you choose to gently but firmly speak your truth, you begin to dismantle these cycles. This act of expression is not one of defiance or rebellion. It is an act of courage, a declaration of self-worth, and a step toward authenticity. Yet, even as you step into this truth, awakening requires you to cultivate compassion, not only for yourself but for those who resist the changes they see in you. Your family's reactions are often rooted not in malice, but in fear of change, fear of loss, or fear of confronting their own unexamined beliefs and behaviors. This fear, though palpable, is not something you are responsible for resolving. It is not yours to fix or to carry. However, understanding the source of their resistance can provide you with the clarity and grace needed to navigate these dynamics. Compassion does not mean enduring toxicity or sacrificing your well-being. Instead, it means approaching their resistance with empathy, recognizing that they too are on their own path, a path that may intersect with yours in unexpected and challenging ways. As you reflect on your journey, take a moment to ask yourself, what patterns within your family have you begun to see clearly? Patterns that once seemed invisible or insignificant? What cycles no longer align with the person you are becoming? And how has your awakening reshaped the way you interact with those closest to you? And perhaps most importantly, how can you honor the growth you are experiencing while still holding space for love and compassion toward those who may not fully understand your transformation? These questions are not merely rhetorical. They are invitations to dig deep, to explore the intersections between your personal evolution and the relationships that have shaped your world. The answers to these questions are rarely simple. They often require you to balance the delicate tension between embracing your truth and maintaining connections with those who have been integral to your life. Awakening is not about severing ties or abandoning those who shaped your early world. It is about creating relationships that reflect your authentic self. Sometimes, this may mean establishing healthy distance, choosing space as a means of protecting your energy and fostering growth. At other times, it may involve patience, vulnerability, and the willingness to engage in difficult but meaningful conversations. Both approaches are valid, and each serves a purpose in your journey toward alignment and authenticity. Your awakening is not just a gift to yourself, it is a gift to the world. By stepping into your purpose, by daring to ask the difficult questions, and by choosing authenticity over comfort, you create ripples that extend far beyond your immediate circle. These ripples inspire transformation, not just within your family, but within the broader fabric of human consciousness. They pave the way for others to awaken, to question, and to step into their own truths. You become not only a participant in your own growth, but a catalyst for collective evolution, a beacon of possibility in a world that often resists change. As we draw to a close, let this truth settle deeply within you. Your journey is yours alone, and it is profoundly meaningful. The discomfort you feel along the way is not a signal of failure but of profound transformation. Growth often requires you to leave behind the familiar and step courageously into the unknown, trusting that what lies ahead is aligned with your highest self. Honor this process, embrace the path that unfolds before you, and know, above all else, that you are not alone. Many others walk this road alongside you, even if their steps are not always visible. I invite you now to reflect on your own experiences and share them in the comments below. What patterns or truths have you uncovered through your awakening? How has this journey reshaped your relationships, your self-perception, and your understanding of the world? Your story has the power to inspire, to heal, and to guide others who are just beginning to awaken to their own truths. Thank you for taking the time to engage with this exploration. May you continue seeking the truths that resonate deeply with your soul, growing into the fullness of your being, and honoring the incredible transformative journey that is uniquely yours.